You want the compact rig with all the bells and whistles. You want the queen size bed, the dry bath, seating, great kitchen inside and outside. You want to be off-road capable, off-grid, I mean all the things. But you want that compact trailer to weigh 4,500 pounds? Well, I'm about to show you the Pause Reboot 14.3. Stick around, you'll be impressed. Hey everybody, I'm PJ with Princess Craft RV. This is the Pause Reboot 14.3. Wow, it looks small because it is. It's under 18 feet long. Now the weight of it, I think it's dry listed at 45.83. You add a few options depending on your solar upgrade packages. Maybe it goes up to 47 and change. So you've got all kinds of options for towing vehicles. No need for this big heavy duty truck. It has all of the off-road capabilities that you might be looking for. It's not only built tough, so you can take it off-road, but it has all of the off-grid capability that you could possibly want. Several choices there, and we'll go through that in just a minute. Let's head inside, take a look at the details. Did I mention this was compact? Well, the entire trailer length is just under 18 feet, but wow, it does not feel cramped in here. Compact is a good word, but spacious, I think, is another. You do have an east-west bed on the front. Let's start right there. It is a true queen. It's a 60 by 80, so if you want to upgrade or put a topper on it, not a big deal. You do have windows on one side, and on this other side, you have a 40-inch flat screen. Wow, pretty impressive. I love the coat hooks up above. You know, if you just need to hang something when you walk in the door, that's perfect. You do have a kind of a countertop there. It's about 6 inches deep, so you can keep some of the things you need and a little bit of storage underneath. So right under here, you've got that same space all the way across. I mean, I'd fill that up with so much stuff. Up here, of course, with the recessed lighting on the top, you've got the cabinets. Now, you've got something a little different here that I don't remember seeing in any of the Pause trailers. You've got the white cabinet fronts, then you've got the wood kind of contrasting it. So, not a big deal, but it gives it a nice warm feel in here. So you've got lights underneath, so if you're sitting in bed, reading, something like that, you've got some nice down lighting. But let's take a look up here. Now, of course, these latches lock in place when it's flush, and then you just give it a push to open it. Let's open it. Yeah, I have to reach up pretty tall because I'm only 5 foot. You're probably a little taller than me. That's going to be an easy access for you. And what I love about the cabinets inside a Pause is that they're all finished out on the inside. And that isn't always the case. You get with a trailer that is more of an average build, and you don't get quite the construction, quite the finish out. You'll also see along the back, there's usually a panel, and behind that is going to be some of the wiring or anything else that they need to add in, so it's accessible. I love the fact that this is about 18 inches deep. It is on the front curve, but it's a lot of space there. And that space runs in one compartment all the way side to side. All right, that is your first storage piece. And then, of course, you've got drawers underneath. Let's take a peek because drawers are always a great way to store things. Now, these are 3 to 4 inches deep, but pretty wide, so you've got a fair amount of space here. And the one below, it looks deeper on the front. Doesn't look like it's any deeper on the inside. So there must be something underneath it. And yeah, I love storage drawers. And in a compact camper like this, it is almost impossible to find. I'm going to point out all of the electrical in this camper because I'm so impressed with what they have put in here. So what you'll see here is going to be a 110 plug right up here on the right, on the left, sorry, well, on this side. And then over here, of course, behind where the TV is another plug for the TV to plug into. And of course it's on the side of that bar, so you've got one plug left on that outlet. This is really, it's a huge TV for a trailer this size. There's just no other way to describe it. It's a 40-inch TV, and of course easy to watch in bed, but because it's so large, this swing arm pulls out and you can watch it literally from the dinette or any place in this trailer. So that's a pretty nice feature. If you're a TV watcher, you know, that's what you're looking for. So just pull it right back out. Let me get it put back into place. Simple to do. And of course it has a strap that you'll want to put on when you're traveling. All right, now that we got that in taken care of, let's take a look at the kitchen. The inside kitchen has great storage overhead. Pop this out, open it up, and again, the finish out in these cabinets is really nice. And inside here is one of the questions we get a lot. What is behind these panels? You notice there is a little pull to open those panels up, and of course 4 screws on each corner. That's more wiring, so if you need to access anything, it's easy to get to. Again, I love the finish out of this. It gives it that high quality feel and easy to work on, and it doesn't mess with the integrity of the build. So these walls aren't drilled out and they stuff a wire through them. It is all inside. So better for you, better for the insulation, better for the maintenance. It is the best way to do it all the way around, but it takes a little more thought and a little more time to build. Kitchen area. Man, the countertop is just fabulous. It is a one-piece countertop. I mean, it looks like Corian. It's not. It's a much lighter weight material, but it is going to be very durable, very easy to clean. Now, underneath this cutting board that fits real snug in here is going to be the sink. And this sink has a nice high faucet, pops up, turns around. We have a little catch on here for anything that might be dripping. This faucet has a soap dispenser that's already built into it and a single handle. All of that is kind of recessed underneath, so when you put this wood cutting board on the top, you've got a flush countertop. Brilliant. Everything in a trailer this size has to be usable. It has to have more than one use, and you want as little on top that can move around, break, be bumped, anything like that. The sink is probably 8 inches deep. It is a dark brushed aluminum, so really classy looking and very useful. That's the most important part. Fold this down. I'm going to put this cutting board right on top. And the electrical here is in the counter. Takes both hands for me to pull that up. It's a little bit stiff, but you've got 2 110 plugs and then 2 USBs on the top. When you don't need it, of course, push it all the way down and it's flush. Next to that, the Suburban cooktop. 2 burners right here. Of course, you've got your sparker in the middle. The switch on the left is for the recessed lighting that's under the cabinet. At first, I was a little confused on why they would make that switch separate. But if you use that for a night light, or if you leave that on when you're not in your trailer, and when you're coming inside, you want to be able to see where you are, it's brilliant. So, separate switch right here. Now, you do have recessed lighting above the cabinet as well, but having a separate one underneath, keep it all out of your eyes, just give you a little bit of light at night. Brilliant. For those of you who really wanted an oven, I've got news for you. Right underneath here, yes, they have a microwave, but it is also a convection oven. If you're not familiar with convection ovens, the instructions are in there, but you can bake a cake, you can grill a steak. Biscuits and gravy is very popular with a convection oven. Really useful and easy to use. But not only that, the air fryers have become so popular. This unit is the microwave, the convection, and an air fryer. And down below, you've got a nice storage space. Let's take a peek. About 8 inches deep here. Pots and pans come to mind, but you know what? Maybe you've got something else that needs to go here. A little bit more storage over here under the sink. Let's take a peek. And a very nice open space under there. tons of storage with the up above, down below, a really big drawer. Compared to other trailers this size, it's really got plenty of storage in the kitchen. And that's not all. There is more storage on the other side, so let's head there. So the storage up above the refrigerator, we'll just go top to bottom here. Let's open these up. Big old space there. As you can see, you have another removable panel in the back. Easy to get to if you need to reach some wiring, but in the meantime, it's a beautiful back to your cabinet. The refrigerator is 12 volts, so it's running off the battery. Of course, there's so much capability in this trailer. If you're off-grid for a long period of time, you still shouldn't have any problem with this refrigerator if you have this outfitted correctly. So freezer space, and then down in here you've got refrigerator space. So quite a bit in here. Nice clean look to it, and a lock right there, so it's going to stay closed on those off-road areas. They put a little drawer underneath because you don't want to waste any space. That drawer is about 6 inches deep, and yeah, every drawer counts, right? Now up above our dinette area, you've got 3 more cabinets. They're not quite as deep as the ones over the bed. They're only about I would say a little less than a foot deep, maybe 8 or 10 inches, because you've got those panels on the back for access. You've got that running all the way down. You have your stereo Bluetooth connection right up here on the inside of this cabinet. You do have speakers right on the outside, and you have 2 speakers right underneath the cabinets, so you can have tunes inside and out with your Bluetooth connection right up there inside the cabinet. Anytime you can put controls out of the way and they're not part of the visual of the camper, I really appreciate that. You know, how a camper feels, a trailer, a camper, whatever you call it, how it feels when you walk in makes a big difference to me, so I know it does to a few other people as well. Let's talk about the window real quick while we're here. We have the screen down on this. Now you can also do your privacy panel or halfway in between, whatever works for you. Let's open this up and just push the button to unlatch. You've got 4 latches. They run across the bottom. These are dual pane acrylic windows. They're lightweight, extremely durable, and the best part, they open really far. So you can get a great breeze here, and you don't have any lines, any screens that are permanent that are going to block your view. Now when you close these windows, you want to be sure that you get the entire latch in front of the slot. But if you want a little bit of air coming in, you can actually, there's a slot in this, put it on the little tab on the window frame, and you've got air along with a secure window. Brilliant, right? Just be sure you close it all the way before you head down the road, or that window is going to take off on you and you'll be looking for a new one. Now, if you're looking for a standard dinette, it's not here. You do have an L-shaped seating here, very comfortable, really nice, cleanable, leatherette feel, and a table that is going to go wherever you need it to be. So you can sit here, have a table to eat with. I mean, you can work here. You can move it out. You could have a second person sit here. It's really pretty easy to work with. Swivels in any direction here, and when you're not using it, it goes completely out of the way. And that is my favorite part, is getting this table out of the way, and you've got really nice walk space here. You can raise and lower it. You can take it out completely, all the options, and it's easy to do. So yeah, one of the best things about this, it's got great seating, and the table does more than one thing. The bathroom is the last thing we haven't seen. Wow, let's take a look, because yeah, they did a great job. We're going to start right here with the mirror. You've got hooks on the bottom. Isn't that exactly what you want? A mirror, but places to hang things. Okay, stepping in. There's not a lot of dancing room in here, but there's room to do hopefully everything you need, right? Hook right here on the side. You have a push vent right here on the back wall. Just release it with the button, push it out, and then you can turn the fan on right there. Again, compact, but very effective. Let's turn that off. It's a little noisy. Pull it in. So nice storage up here, about 8 inches deep of storage. Not a ton of depth, but you've got some height and keep all the things that you need to access easily right there. Let's close this down. The important part here is that this is a porcelain toilet. You've got a 30-gallon black tank, a 30-gallon gray tank, and a 36-gallon freshwater tank. If you don't want the standard black water tank, there are other options. We're glad to review them with you because, yeah, if you like a compost toilet or whatever it is that you're fond of, yeah, these can be changed. But if you're going to have a standard black tank, you want a porcelain bowl so it stays nice and lasts as long as this trailer is going to. So, shower, separate shower is really important. Very few trailers that are 18 feet long, now that includes the tongue, are going to have a separate shower. It's just not usually out there. When it is, it's barely usable. Now this guy is 80 inches tall, so you've got plenty of height in here. Now you're moving into the shower, and you lose about 3 inches. So it's about 77 inches tall. So that is what, 6'5". So still plenty of height here. You've got the nice black hardware in here, a really nice shower head with a switch on it to turn it on and off, and a curved bar. So you've got extra elbow room while you're inside the shower. It is a one-piece molded shower, and that's going to mean less maintenance for you and longevity for the shower. Hey, that's what it's all about. A trailer like this should be ready to go anywhere and last a long time with minimal maintenance. All right, there's a few more things I want to point out here that we didn't cover, so let me hit those real quick before we go outside. Right here next to the refrigerator, you'll see the Truma controls, and that is going to be your Truma AquaGo and the furnace. So that is controlled right here, easy to get to. Right next to that, there is a monitor panel for the fresh black and gray and the battery. Probably you're going to be looking at your battery levels somewhere else, but it is right there in the panel. And a switch in the back, and that is for your tank heaters. This is an enclosed underbelly, and it's aluminum bottom, so you're going to be really protected when you get off-road. All of that is heated with this furnace. However, you also have tank heaters. You want to be sure that if you are in extreme cold, that you're going to be safe. So flip on those tank heaters, you'll have double protection. Now, AC here, this is the Truma Aventa, so it's very quiet, very efficient, and controlled right here by the remote on the wall. But you'll also notice right up here at the end of the cabinet, you've got a lot more controls. Let's take a peek. Up here at the top, that is going to be your Victron system, and that is going to let you know how charged your batteries are, what power is coming into them, how much you're using. A lot to learn from that. If you are off-roading, that's going to be the key to keeping this thing running. So Victron does a great job. We'll look at more of their equipment on the outside. And over here on the left, that is going to be the power awning. You've got a 9-foot awning on this. And outside switches here for all the lights on the outside. You do have lighting all the way around this trailer. If you are off the grid and in the middle of nowhere, that's super important to be able to light up on all sides. And the interior lights are these last two. The recessed lighting that you see above the cabinets is separate from the downlights, so they've set those separately for you. Great, right? Nice features in here, plenty of space. If you want to limit the weight and the size of what you're towing, this is a great way to go. But wait till you see everything on the outside. Let's go. Good solid aluminum steps, of course, that fold in. That's very nice when you're off-road. But headed this way, right here is a port for water. Plug in here, and you've got a hot-cold sprayer, because this is going to be your outside kitchen. Let's get this open. Nice food-grade cutting board up here. In here you've got a drawer, great place to keep your drinks, maybe anything that you're going to be cooking later in the evening. And down below, you can hook up a sink. That's what that great spray port right there is for, because you've got a fold out dish pan here. So use it when you need it, and then when you don't, let me see if I can, takes a little bit to push it up, and it just stays out of the way for you. You've got a drawer underneath. Now this is the spray port hose that you've got over there, and then of course the gas hookup for the Greystone. But you've got a nice griddle here, so everything is compact right here where you need it. Now if you bring your own grill and you want to add that to your kitchen, you've got a gas plug-in right here next to it. So everything in this corner, nice awning right over there for people to sit and relax and watch you do your great grilling. Coming back around, this is a great place to take a look at the framing, because this is a huck bolt aluminum frame. It gives it the strength, the flexibility that you're going to want going off-road. You've got jacks all the way around. Of course, they are manual, but not easy to do, so you shouldn't have any problem with that. Now you do have a switch for the tongue jack here, a little different than you'll see on a standard trailer, because you don't want anything in the way right here. That control is push button right here to raise and lower the front, so leveling should be super easy. Now this is a really unique hitch here. Anytime you have an off-road trailer, of course you want an articulating hitch, which means it can move in any direction. But what they've done here is they've made it a solid hitch, so when you're going down the highway, you get a nice even tow. When you're ready to go off-road, you can slide this back and it becomes an articulating hitch that'll move in every direction. Made in America, really nice feature on this. You have the 7-way plug right here, but underneath they have built in a DC to DC charger. That's going to keep these batteries powered when you're driving down the road, because the 7-way is only going to give you a trickle charge. What you want is a heavy duty charge, and this will go 50 amps going to those batteries. So they're going to charge really quickly. All right, stepping back this way, let's take a look in here. Your propane, get both of them here, latches on top and bottom. So your propane tanks are inside here, easy to get to. You can put something taller in here if that's what you want. And then you have storage up here. Now, not very useful for me, but for most of you, that will be a great storage space. Now on the back side, this is the other side of that kitchen. So it would be a full pass-through without the kitchen. You've got the kitchen on the far side, and then on this side, you've got some open space. Now what you're seeing here is going to be the Renogy panels that you can add in. You can add in 2 400 panels, and you can get up to 600 on the roof. So that's 1,400 watts of solar. Incredible. Mapped with everything else that you've got on this trailer. Now, there are different levels. There are 2 options to upgrade with. So if you talk to a dealer and you say, yeah, I want the solar upgrade, there's an upgrade number 1 and an upgrade number 2. The most you can get is that 1,400. So be sure you ask how much is on there, because yeah, there's several options. Now you've got a water filter in here, which I really like. And then you have the water pump accessible right here in the cabinet. That is important, that when you build a structure like this with such strength and integrity, fiberglass on the outside, the foam, fiberglass on both sides, that is going to give you the strength. You don't want to be digging into that to fix wiring or to access pieces of the equipment. They've done such a great job in designing their trailers. I mean, next we have the exhaust for the AquaGo. That is your water heater. It is an on-demand water heater, and yeah, one of the best on the market for a trailer like this. In here, it is a Nautilus system. So you've got 3 different levers on this one. Let's pull out this spray hose. So the water hose will just clip in right here at the top. You have hot and cold handles here, and this controls all the water in the trailer. So you hook up your water here. If you're using water from a hydrant, you can come up through the bottom through this hatch, and so you can keep this door closed and hook in right here, and then that will be the controls based on whether you're using water from a hydrant, you're pulling from the tank, you're winterizing, whatever you're doing. There is a picture and a diagram of how to set the levers. Now you do have a black tank flush on the right, and you also have connections for an outside water heater. On the edge here, you see the connections for your outside solar panels. So everything right in this nice compartment. Let's put this right back in. I also want to point out underneath, they do a very nice job with levers on how they put in your low point drains. They're easy to get to. They're just underneath here. You want to drain the water out, very simple. Of course, your Truma exhaust for your furnace is right here. This is your 30 amp shore cord if you're plugging into a shore power. And right back here, of course, your gray and black dump is right on the top, your connections underneath, and right next to it is the sewer hose holder. I mean, I don't know why everybody doesn't do that. Pull it out right here, connect it right here, and you're good to go. Coming around the back, you'll see that we've got a really nice storage tray. You will have the spare tire mounted right on the back, but this is very simple to just drop down, put right back up again. Again, generators, bikes, whatever it is you need to carry, mount it right here. And let's look in this cabinet because that's going to have a lot of the controls that really make this such a great off-grid trailer. When you start right down here, you've got two MPPT charge controllers. Now, these are 50 amp. One of them is going to be working for what's on the roof. The other one controls whatever the portables are. Now up here, this is the DC to DC battery charger. That is what allows 50 amps to charge your batteries. Now the batteries in this, depending on which package you have and what you upgrade to, can be as small as 270 amp hours and as high as 1,080 amp hours. So you can have a lot of power built into this system. Now the Servo GX, that is the connection to the system. So you can connect to apps. There are ways to get into this system to see what's happening with your power if you're having any issues. Now over here, of course, that is the inverter, the 3,000 watt inverter that allows you to run your air conditioner. If you have those batteries charged up, you're running the AC, you're running everything on this trailer and having a great time in the middle of nowhere. So all of that controlled right here. You may have noticed backup camera, part of the Pause 14.3, and coming around to the other side, you've got a household plug right here on the corner. Yeah, I don't know, start the party, right? Under this 9-foot awning, and a table that folds down. I love the sturdiness of this. It's gonna work for just about anything you need. They call it a cocktail table. So yeah, that too. Folds right up and out of the way when you're done with it, clips into place, and you're good to go. There's a lot to talk about with this compact trailer. It is off-grid, it is off-road, and it's really got so many features that you won't even find on trailers that are longer. So if you're looking for something compact, check out the Pause Reboot 14.3. I'm PJ with Princess Craft RV. I'll see you next time.